Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So in this one, I wanted to talk a little bit about Zach Wilson's expectations for his upcoming rookie season. Let's dive in. So the first thing that I wanted to do in this video was to take a second to reflect on last season's offense, right? And understand that we can only really go up. I truly felt like last season was rock bottom. I mean, the 3 and outs, the inability to protect the quarterback, all of the turnovers, the play calling, just everything was a mess, and you guys know that. So Zach Wilson won't be walking into the Jets locker room with the weight of the world on his shoulders, having to win a Super Bowl early, having to lead this veteran group, this veteran team deep into the playoffs year one. There's no sort of playoff mandate. There's no precedent being set like that, which I do feel like will be beneficial for Zach, because he could walk into the situation with a clean slate and just have the understanding, okay, it's all about getting better. I don't have to hit these quotas. It's just, am I taking steps in the right direction? Can this team get better and improve on a week-to-week basis? That's what it's all about. It's taking this young team and growing as a unit. That said, I do feel like Zach Wilson will look more polished than a couple rookie quarterbacks that we've seen start for the Jets in recent memory. The two that pop into my mind, Geno Smith and Sam Darnold, two guys that I didn't really feel like should have been out there that early. In Geno's case, he was forced to start early because of an injury to Mark Sanchez. And then with Sam Darnold, I just kind of felt like he was a raw prospect at USC, struggled with turnovers, struggled with mechanics. I just felt like there was just a lot to work on, and it just would have been beneficial just to roll out McCown for a couple weeks. And we even saw that once Darnold ended up getting hurt, McCown went in. When Darnold came back, he looked like a completely different quarterback. He looked like a superstar. You know, games against like the Houston Texans and the Green Bay Packers, he was fantastic. It really felt like the game slowed down for him. But a part of the reason why I felt like Geno and Darnold both struggled year one to grasp that consistency, just struggled to click, was the supporting cast, or lack thereof. I mean, you take a look across the league at other rookie quarterbacks. Joe Burrow, great supporting cast year one. Justin Herbert, great supporting cast year one. Kyler Murray, look at the guys that he has. Look at Baker Mayfield's situation. Look at Josh Allen's situation. These guys are being supplied with some weapons. These guys were being supplied with some offensive firepower, some help. Now, you know, in certain cases like Josh Allen and Kyler Murray, some of the weapons didn't come until a little later, year 2, year 3, but in any case, the supporting casts are leaps and bounds better, where I feel like with this situation with Zach Wilson, we finally have some talent. We finally have some guys that the quarterbacks can lean on. It doesn't have to be a picture-perfect pass every single time. These guys can separate. These guys can get open. These guys can win at 50-50 balls, right? And even looking at the offensive line and the running backs, I know we're kind of talking about wide receivers here, but with both of these groups being upgraded, whether it be through free agency and the draft the last couple of seasons, I think it'll only bode well for Zach Wilson moving forward. Not to mention the system fit. I think the system fit for Zach Wilson will be huge. You take a look at, let's just rewind back to 2013, Geno Smith's rookie year. He was playing in a system that, quite frankly, didn't utilize his skill set at all. Throw on top of that he wasn't ready to play, and it's not like he had Devontae Adams, Julio Jones, and DK Metcalf out there, okay? So the supporting cast was lackluster at best, and that's just not a formula to successfully develop a quarterback, right? Not at all. Not at all. But with Zach Wilson, we now have a system in place that feeds off of Wilson's skill set. The arm power, the quick release, the mobility, doing a lot of what he did at BYU, putting guys in motion, utilizing play action. So I feel like not only do we just have a better supporting cast than what Sam Darnold had to deal with and what Geno Smith had to deal with back in 2013, but the structure, the offensive system is a lot better too, because it's more tailored towards the quarterback skill set. And we didn't really talk about, you know, Sam Darnold's rookie season in 2018. I thought, again, once he came back from his injury, replacing Josh McCown towards the tail end of the season, I felt like the game really slowed down for him. But as we all know, they made the change with Todd Bowles. Jeremy Bates was gone too. Then Gase comes in, just a lot more shotgun and, you know, the short passing. But the whole thing was just a nightmare, just complete disaster from top to bottom. But I mean, who knows? We don't know how Sam Darnold's going to look in Carolina. And hindsight is always 20/20. But a part of me does truly wonder how Sam Darnold would have looked in year 2 of the Jeremy Bates West Coast system. Let's just hypothetically say Todd Bowles never got fired. How would he have looked? Would he put together games like he did against the Packers and the Texans? He was amazing in those 2 games. He was amazing. Nobody was expecting him to just take a complete nosedive in his career. Nobody really saw that coming. He finished the season so strong. But then everything changed. It just almost looked like he had to relearn the sport of football, and it just never truly clicked. But going back to Zach Wilson here, I think everything is out on the table. Everything is lined up perfectly for Zach to have a successful rookie season. Now, I'm not saying I, expect him to win Rookie of the Year, but for the first time in a really, really long time, we are supplying a rookie quarterback with weapons: Elijah Moore, Denzel Mims, Corey Davis, Jamison Crowder, Keelan Cole. We have some ballers on the offensive line. We have a young running back room that's unproven, but there's a lot to like there. There's a lot of untapped potential with Michael Carter, and I really, really like Ty Johnson's fit in this offense, not to mention LaMichael Pirine, and then of course Tevin Coleman, Josh Adams as well. We have some young, unproven guys on the roster at running back, but I like them all. I don't really think this is going to be a weak spot and Achilles heel for the team. I think everything physically is there for Zach Wilson. And then on the mental side of things, the system, the coaches that we have in place, I think we have that too. So a couple more points that I do want to touch on before we jump to the stat prediction at the end. Zach Wilson never had these crazy turnover issues in college back at BYU. Sam Darnold, on the other hand, I mean, countless weeks you were just left scratching your head, not just at USC with interceptions and fumbles, but at the pro game as well. 3 years of games where you're just left scratching your head. Where was that pass going? What was happening on that play? Just egregious turnovers, and you can't continuously turn the football over, and then at the same time go 3 and out on drives that you're not turning the football over and expect to win a lot of football games. Zach Wilson didn't really have that turnover problem. Now, of course, he's going to throw more picks at the NFL, at the pro level here. I think he only had 3 last season, so that number's probably going to be going up here. But at the end of the day, I don't feel like it's going to be this huge issue that we're going to have to drive into Zach Wilson's head. Like, you cannot be throwing interceptions and just having that command of the offense. And here's where you can maybe make an argument about the whole strength of schedule thing. If BYU was playing teams like Alabama, Florida, Texas A&M, Auburn, big time defenses, maybe Zach Wilson's turnovers would be a lot higher, but we can only go off of, who BYU has played. We can only go off of the tape that we have. And up to this point, Zach Wilson just never really had this crazy turnover problem. I don't think it's going to be an issue at the pro level. Last point, I feel like Zach Wilson's overall skill set gives the Jets offense a lot of versatility. He can hurt you down the field because of the arm strength, because of the deep ball accuracy. He can hurt you over the middle of the field in the intermediate passing game, on out routes, on crossing patterns, on off of play action, because he did such a good job of that back at BYU. He can hurt you in the short passing game as well with the quick release. Again, another BYU thing, which will also be a Mike LaFleur thing. He could use his legs on the ground to extend plays, to pick up first downs, to step up into the pocket. He does a really good job of keeping his eyes downfield when he's in the pocket. He doesn't look like a deer in headlights. We'll see how that transitions or translates to the NFL, because again, you can bring up the whole strength of schedule thing, because it's not like Zach Wilson was getting pummeled every single snap. He was throwing from some pretty clean pockets for the most part of last season with the BYU Cougars. But at the end of the day, Zach Wilson's expectations for this upcoming season, I don't want to say they're pretty high and create this unnecessary pressure, but given what the team was last season, given the offseason moves that Joe Douglas and this front office has made so far, I'm expecting a pretty solid year from Zach Wilson. I think everything is looking really good for Wilson's development in this league. My stat prediction, I'm going to go 22 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, around 3,100 yards, roughly 3,100, maybe a little less, maybe a little more. But I feel like in the West Coast system, this isn't an offense that throws 60 times a game, much like the Cincinnati Bengals or the Arizona Cardinals or something like that. This is a run-first offense. It's all about getting in a third and shorts, and then playing off of the run game, utilizing that play action. All about the 3rd and 4. Can we get in a 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3? That's the sweet spot. That's where we want to be. So I feel like, given the offensive system, given the weapons, and by the way, this is assuming that Zach Wilson plays an entire year. Like, if he only plays 10 games, then obviously the stats are going to be a lot different, but I feel like that's a pretty fair stat prediction. Over 10 picks. Of course, we want to get that down, but again, we do have to remember he's a rookie. He's a young player. This team is young. We're going to have missed assignments on the offensive line. We're going to have routes being ran the wrong way, balls sailing over wide receivers' heads. And this is a young coaching staff as well, so we might not have the best play calls every single game as well. I feel like that will be a learning curve for Mike LaFleur personally. So I think when it's all said and done, Zach Wilson will string together a really, really solid rookie season, a successful rookie season. As far as rookie of the years is concerned, I feel like there's a lot of different candidates for that. That should be an awesome race. But assuming Zach Wilson starts from day one, assuming Trevor Lawrence starts from day one, that should be just an outright fun battle to watch. Just two quarterbacks, number one, number two, going at it, playing all 16 games. That is what you want to see. Who comes out victorious with the Rookie of the Year award at the end of the season. So that's my stat prediction. That's kind of what I'm thinking for Zach Wilson's rookie season. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. What are you expecting? Are you expecting him to struggle big time? I mean, I'm really hoping that we don't have a Tua situation where it just looked like he needed time on the bench. Right, last season, I just felt like Tua was not 100% ready to go, ready to roll in there and taking over for Fitzpatrick randomly. I felt like that was kind of odd, a little premature. So I don't want to see a situation like that, but I'm leaning towards more polished for sure. So anyway, thanks so much for watching, and as always, go Jets.